You're listening to the official podcast of Bloodstock Open Air Festival. Bloodstock Radio.
Yes, hello, good evening, and welcome to Bloodstock Radio, the official podcast of the Bloodstock Open Air Festival. My name is Squatter, this is podcast number 74, and we're going to go straight into it as we've got interviews with 4 Bloodstock 2019 bands coming up tonight. We have 2 Metal to the Masses winners, 1 main stage band, and first up, we've got Witch Tripper, who are going to be playing on the Sophie stage.
Band chat.
Okay, next up on Bloodstock Radio, I'm going to catch up with the guys from Witch Tripper, and we wish you many contrafibularities on being announced for Bloodstock this year on the Sophie stage.
I hope we don't.
Thank you very much. I accept all those things.
Well, you've just been using big words before we started chatting, so I thought I'd try and...
I memorised them before I got here, I don't know what they mean.
So yeah, well, let's see how you get on with any big words. So yes, Sophie stage this year, so you guys must be a bit delighted with that.
Yeah, amazing, isn't it? Really good. Like, obviously, we've worked our way up, it's not like we've just gone into that one either, so it's, you know what I mean, it's been a target for the last 2 years, hasn't it, to get on that stage. But yeah, we do feel really lucky.
Yeah. Good. Well, yeah, I would say you are known as one of the hardest working bands, and I spoke to you years ago, Stoff, didn't I? And I said you're doing too much, didn't I? I said you got to calm it down a little bit. You're going to oversaturate it. People are going to say, oh, we're not going to go and see him this week when we can see him next week up the road and things like that. But you still completely ignored me, and you still do like 400 gigs a year. So thanks. It's good to see that you took my advice on board, mate.
Well, we listen to everyone, and then we kind of just amalgamate it into the best thing for us. And if we didn't get a gig every weekend, we'd get bored.
Like, we don't really go to a gig, so we might as well play them all.
Yeah. People keep asking us to gig, so we can't say no.
So what sort of figures over the last few years then for the number of gigs you've been doing?
2 years ago was the big year. The first big year we did 86 Witch Tripper gigs. I think last year we did about 78. I think so far this year we're on about at least 30 odd at the moment, with another 30 odd confirmed, if not more. So it's
and you did 2 yesterday. You're doing 2 today.
Yeah.
So no signs of slowing down then.
No.
I have to say, Rich, last time I saw you here in Leicester, I honestly didn't think you were going to make it through the set. You looked like you were going to die halfway through it.
Yeah. Was that a regular occurrence?
Yeah, I know. I was like literally, and I looked at my watch and thinking, Christ, I've still got about half an hour to go here.
Yeah.
And I just, what is it? What do you run on?
No comment. I'm not falling for that.
Officer.
To be fair, it is fatigue over the weekend. Like, if it were the first gig, I'd be alright.
Yeah.
But obviously, we're travelling and all, and you know what I mean, you get home at stupid o'clock, you're not going to bed because you're like, head's going and that. You know what I mean? So really weekends, it's just go until last gig.
Yeah.
For me.
So how are you feeling at the moment then? You did 2 yesterday and you got 2 today upcoming. How are we at the moment? Where are the fuel tanks at the moment?
Very, very average, I'd say. No, we're alright.
Yeah, cool.
Just had some banging Firebug field, so...
It were a long day yesterday though. We played at 11 in the morning.
Yeah.
And then 11 at night.
Yeah. Well, there you go. But you will
go wrong.
You will do these. Yeah, you will do these silly things, you guys. But there you go. So yeah, well, good. We're looking forward to seeing you later on, and obviously looking forward to seeing you on Sophie, because it was 2016 Metal to the Masses winners that you played on the New Blood. So
and it were amazing, that gig.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So good.
Well, you say you always look like you're having fun anyway. You always look like, you know, you're having a good laugh with things and that lot. But you know, what are your memories of that weekend and the sort of whole rock star experience of a festival like Bloodstock?
Just remember, we were on a Friday at 10:30, so first band on the Friday. So obviously, it hits you, and it's like, is anyone going to be up? Except Thursday night is like
Cobb there, aren't they?
Yeah.
Sort of walked out, started line checking and stuff, and yeah, it was my night. It was amazing to see, you know, and well, you know half the people there as well.
Yeah.
So seeing all your mates.
28 double won this weekend. They were at that.
Yeah.
I remember seeing them in crowd and them shouting and stuff, you know, because we're all mates, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just brilliant, like say, because you're friends with it, and you know what I mean.
Well, that's the thing. When you look at the amount of gigs that you guys play with bands, you must your network of bands must be incredible for the actual bands you've played with. You're almost like the Kevin Bacon of bands, because it's like, you know, that 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon. Yeah. It'd be sort of like, how many bands have I got to go before I've played with a band that's played with Witch Stripper? It's got to be pretty much everyone.
Like, you know,
it's probably
7 people to everybody at World and everyone at World.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Going back to, I mean, like, obviously the year before we did the Jaeger as well in 2015, and
yeah.
I don't know about everyone else, but both times for me, because it's such a big deal, it goes like that, and it's such a blur.
Yeah.
You know, like, it still gets you. Like, we could do 100 gigs, but each gig it still gets you.
Yeah.
Nerves or timing.
Those PA systems and everything, you know, like the crowd, like, it's an honour to play through a PA like that. You know what I mean? Because you can hear everything. You know what I mean? You can hear drummers' feet. Like, you can feel it and all kinds.
Yeah.
It's just ace. So it's mega bigger gigs for that. But I really know about to Rob at 28 double last night, saying our metal to masses thing is we have blown smoke up your arse. Yeah. Like you say, we know more or less every band in country now, because we gig everywhere. You know, we do everywhere. And looking at, obviously we've applied to everything, so we, you know, every festival going we apply for. Out of you know, the big ones, there's no chance of playing a stage, for instance, at Download.
Yeah.
Except through like the Takeover thing, which is their version of it.
Yeah.
But it's not real. Like the winning bands are bands we've not heard of.
Yeah, and that's what I've noticed as well. Because I mean, so I've been following unsigned bands for 5 or 6 years now, and they make their announcements and.
We know them. But yeah, I don't know. It's just such a good like. How else would we have got to play that stage and that audience if it weren't for Metal to Masters, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We are really grateful for it.
Yeah, and now, as I say, they keep tabs on bands and they invite them back, and the Sophie stage is even bigger. The Sophie stage is huge. Yeah. Because, you know, you can have a lot of real estate to be wandering around in, and there's like 5,000 people in there as well. Like, so yeah, should be a good one for you.
Yeah, I mean the whole thing as well. I mean, when we first started off doing the Metal to the Masters back in 2015, we'd only been going 2 years at the time, so you know we were still struggling to get outside of Nottinghamshire. Yeah. You know, but the good thing for us is you're meeting all these new bands in each heat and what have you. You know, that's how we met 28 Double. And, you know, became good friends with them, networking and that. So any band I meet now that's just starting off, I say, just do it. You don't have to win.
Yeah.
Because you win anyway.
Yeah, if you get to a semi-final, you're guaranteed to play to a room full of metal fans, proper metal fans. So it's worth doing, isn't it? Even if you just get into the top couple of runs.
Yeah. And each year, you know, the finals, you know, made a massive fuss out of, like, you know, we're here this weekend in Leicester.
Yeah.
You know, people are really building up and, you know, providing the finals as a standalone huge gig, you know, which is you know, awesome in itself, and then it all leads to the holy ground that is Bloodstock.
Yeah, cool. Can't wait to see you there. So the other thing I wanted to talk to you about was obviously the last time you played Bloodstock, you had Jimmy on the drums, and when Jimmy left and you were recruiting for a new drummer, I was thinking to myself, how the hell are they going to find someone that's going to keep up with that schedule? Because I'd say that's a big commitment. I mean, joining a band anyway is a big commitment, but with you guys, when you got that number of dates now, so how's he doing? Is he coping with it all right?
The thing is, right, when we found out Jimmy were going for definite, we'd got gigs 2 weeks after that.
Yeah.
We didn't cancel any, and we did auditions for 1 week's time from there, so halfway point, and Gary come with 8 songs learned, didn't it? Yeah. So his audition.
Yeah.
We could have done a gig that night.
Yeah.
Right. So it was like instantly obvious what, you know, more or less.
Well, the story behind it was in a band called Grand Ultra, and we played with them a year previous in Sheffield, and he's like, bloody hell, come up to us after the gig, if you ever need a drummer, let me know. So it was the first person we contacted. fact, I'd booked him in for the first slot on the Friday for auditioning. This was like Monday, so I'd like 4 days really to learn 8 songs. And then as soon as he'd come in, smashed it. So we just everyone else off.
Easy.
Yeah, I said, well, instead of auditioning other people, we might as well use that time to keep practicing with them, you know.
Yeah.
And,
we got through about 6, then we whittled it down. Because we got a lot of applicants like from Liverpool and which is miles away from us, obviously.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh yeah, it don't matter, I'll come over every week for rehearsal and all that. And I'm like, mate, it's not going to work, is it, long term?
Yeah.
So it was quite easy to whittle it down, weren't it? Obviously with quality and logistics and all that.
Yeah.
But yeah, he made it his own, really, didn't he?
Yeah. And he's in that, and he's fully compass mentis. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Dribbling out both sides is.
Not like you two then.
Yeah, that's my job.
He does his fair share of the work. You know, he wants to get involved with writing.
Unlike you, I noticed this morning sitting eating your breakfast while Rich is carrying all the gear in, like.
Carried my gear in. Didn't see him there when I was carrying my stuff.
Good. Well, I'm hoping it's going to be a really good crowd for you in the Sophie tent. And obviously, I think Gary, have you told him? He must be mega excited about it. I mean, you guys have played there before, but he must just be absolutely buzzing.
Yeah,
well, actually, he did do it about 2011 or something.
Oh, did he?
Back in the day, yeah.
Oh, right, okay.
So he knows what this stuff is, but obviously, Bloodstock 8 years ago, it's a lot different to what it is now.
Yeah, it is.
It's tightened up, it's huge.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll try and have a chat there with you as well for Bloodstock TV as well, because always good to have a catch up. If I was going to say if you're not too drunk, but let's be honest.
Well, it's a bit worrying because we're playing on Sunday, aren't we?
All right. Yeah.
Obviously, we're going Thursday.
Yeah. We might try and interview you early if we can get. Because you only get press passes on the day that you're playing, so I can't interview you before then. So yeah, Sunday might be a fun one.
It might be 250 quid in it somewhere. Right.
All good. Nice one. Well, cheers, guys, and choose a song for us to play out on, because why not, eh?
Oh, beast. Let's have Grand Magus, first one off the album. Where is it? Gauntlet.
What you don't want one of your songs then?
Oh right, I was just picking a cool song. We're doing promotion still. Everyone knows we are now, don't we?
Roll the Dice by Witch Tripper off Eye of the Storm album.
Okay, cool. We'll go for that then. Cheers for chatting to us, guys, and we'll see you at Bloodstock.
Cheers, Squatter. Thank you.
from Possessed. You're listening to Bloodstock Radio.
So that was Witch Tripper with Roll the Dice from their latest album Eye of the Storm, and they will be on the Sophie stage on the Sunday. And also playing on the Sunday will be the next two bands we've got coming up tonight, but these will be over in the New Blood tent, as we had the first batch of New Blood bands officially announced earlier this week, most of whom our regular listeners will be familiar with as they're Metal to the Masses winners that we've previously featured, but I'll quickly run through them anyway. So, on the Saturday, we have Defamation of Man, Metal to the Masses winners in Sheffield, Genova, our first winners from Coventry, Inferium, who won up in Glasgow, and Lock Horns, who won in Belfast. They were all announced for Saturday alongside Master's Call, who have got a place on the New Blood via a CD submission. Then moving on to the Sunday, we have Asect, the Dublin winners we spoke to last week, Take Refuge, who won in Milton Keynes on Saturday, and two other winners from this past weekend. Bastard won in Norwich on Thursday, and I was in Leicester to see 28 Double triumph on Saturday. So we're going to hear from both of those two bands now, straight after this week's Metal to the Masses update.
Metal to the Masses update.
Good afternoon, good evening, good metal. It's Coop from the Spoken Metal Show with an update on Metal to the Masses Merseyside 2019 Heat 4. This is the last one before the final, and we had Into the Fall with the glorious attack and brutality of everything they were doing, with this slightly different Maru, beautiful Black and Noise, and then Sick with their Scout Speed Metal, and White Mammoth, the heavy prog goodness with huge riffs. In the end, Maru came out as the winners of Heat 4, going on to the 22nd of June in the final, and they'll be joining Atanamia, Midnight Prophecy and Forlorn Hope. I'll see you all at the show, guys.
Bloodstock Metal to the Masses Somerset. Steve reporting where the first semi-final has now taken place. It was another very closely contested night, but it was Perdition who take their brand of death metal to the final, and commiserations to Duskwood and Dremora. Who's going to join them? Find out at the second and third semi-final at the Cobblestones in Bridgewater on the 31st of May and the 1st of June. See you there.
And now on Bloodstock Radio. A Bloodstock Metal to the Masses tour update.
Okay, next up on Bloodstock Radio, we are catching up with the latest of our Metal to the Masses winners. So last Thursday in East Anglia, the winners were Bastard. How are you doing, Jim and Josh?
Not too bad.
All good.
So, you guys won last week, and how are you all feeling? Have you calmed down from it yet, or are you still buzzing from it?
I don't think it's quite sunk in yet, especially because we never really thought that a band like ours would probably make it to that sort of stage, to be fair.
Do you mean in terms of the style of music that you play, or is it, just tell us a little bit about you guys, how long you've been going for and stuff like that?
Well, we've been going for a good couple of years now. I think we've been gigging for...
It's about a year and a half.
About a year and a half. I think in terms of music-wise, it's just honest, stripped down, basic sort of hardcore metal, I suppose. So to sort of get that little boost onto the Bloodstock stage is just a bit incredible, really. Yeah,
we do try to mix it up a little bit. I mean, we've had, bands like Hatebreed on in recent years, and they've got Code Orange there this year, and of course we've had Vendetta have won the Metal to the Masses over there as well.
Yeah, friends of ours.
I think I plugged them as being the best thing to come out of Peterborough since the A47. Well, I say we do try to mix it up a little bit, and you guys are there. So so tell us a little bit about your past with it. Have you taken part in Metal to the Masses before, or was it just something that you just tried for the first time?
So this is our second time entering Metal to the Masses, and we got knocked down in the second round last year.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Okay, so why'd you come back this year then? Did you still see benefit in taking part in it last year?
Obviously, the main benefit being playing Bloodstock, but I think the other benefit for us was we get to network with other bands, and if anything else was to come out of it, then we knew we could get a string of shows with a load of other bands.
Yeah, so it definitely gave us a boost last year with shows. So we got to play a local venue, the Waterfront, with Oakley Dokley, the Ned Flanders band.
Yeah.
Just a load more local shows with other bands as well. It's just good fun.
I think I've been to the Waterfront a couple of times, but I do really like the Britmakers and where the Metal to the Masses is held, and it was in danger of closing earlier this year as well, so I was a little bit worried about that, but it seemed that they managed to turn that around and get it reversed, yeah?
Correct, yeah. Everyone in Norwich, I think we were just worried about losing
another venue.
Another great venues. I mean, and there was I think it was an online petition, wasn't it, got put around?
Yeah.
But basically, everyone just clubbed together, and they thought, well, stop this, we're not losing another venue. And, it was just the local spirit that sort of swayed that decision. And, we've still got a real kick-ass venue out of it.
Yeah, it's a great venue as well. They have shows on like nearly every night of the week, at any sort of genre, and like weekends and everything.
Yeah, I go over to Thrashosaurus there. Been for the last few years. Couldn't go this year because I've just relocated and I'm a lot further away from you guys over in Norwich now. But and Errol that runs Thrashosaurus also puts on the Metal to the Masses as well. So puts on a good few shows over there. Yeah,
he does. Yeah, Errol is magic for the scene. He's an absolute diamond, that bloke.
Yeah, definitely keeping it alive. He offered us a slot on Thrashosaurus really last minute, but unfortunately we weren't able to make it.
Yeah, cool. So tell us a little bit about what music you've got out there.
So currently out there we have our debut EP called Try Hardcore. 4 tracks, 10 minutes, blink and you miss it. Just, good aggressive, aggro sort of punk. And then we've got another couple of singles out, one a bit more cheesy 80s called Snake Hips, and one more recent called Reaper, which is more of a touch back into like the sort of good heavy metal sort of side of it.
Okay, cool. What's your opinion on things like hardcore dancing and the crowd killing and all that sort of thing? Because we have had a bit of controversy over it over the last few years. It's not really my scene, and we had when I interviewed Hatebreed at the festival a couple of years ago and asked them about it. And I think if you're at a hardcore show, I think it's acceptable. But at festivals, when people don't really know what's going on, it can be a little bit dangerous. What's your sort of views on that?
If it's a hardcore show, then you're going to do really well to try and avoid it. But like at festivals, I'd
say festival, maybe circle pits and just general like mosh pits, really. But I've been at festivals before and I've had someone windmill me in the face. It's not pleasant.
I just think you have to be a bit more mindful maybe at a festival, because families of all ages attend festivals, and you don't really want to be roundhouse kicking a little kid in the head there. It's just not. So I think time and place for sure.
So have any of you guys ever been to Bloodstock before?
Yes, I have, yeah. Okay, cool. 2013, I believe I went. Well, that was a special year, that was.
So how are you feeling about the fact that you're going to actually be playing it now then?
Oh, it's
gobsmacked, really, just seeing the lineup as well, like Cancer Bats, Code Orange, even something like D. Snyder as well. Thank Christ.
Yeah, I mean, there's just so many bands that I fell in love with over the last few years that are on this lineup, and it's just crazy to think that we're going to be, like, our name's going to be in there somewhere in that lineup where they're on as well. It's
really small at the bottom, but we get to say we're on the same poster.
Well, no, you're allowed to say that you supported them. You're allowed to, seriously, you're on the same lineup as them. You're allowed.
Well, if that's the case, it's really cool to say that we're supporting Scorpions.
Yeah, there you go. Because we had the announcement this week with we're up to date with all the Metal to the Masses announcements now. I think at the moment and that lot. So yeah, so you guys are going to be playing on the Sunday, yeah?
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So you get a few days to get yourselves acclimatised to the place and that lot. And as we say to all the Metal to the Masses bands, then especially if you're playing on the Sunday, then do make sure that you come up with some sort of way of getting your name out there. Because as I say, we can play you guys, and we've got 118 bands on over the weekend. And by the time it comes to Sunday, people are not necessarily going to still have their class finders intact. So try and come up with some sort of other than flyers. Don't go flyer in the place, but if you can come up with some sort of inventive way of getting people to make note of who you are and what time you're playing on the Sunday, then that's always of benefit to you.
Well, that's funny you should bring that up, because I think I've come up with an ingenious plan for that.
All right. Are you keeping it to yourself, or are you going to share it with us?
No, I'll share, because I'm actually quite proud of it. I'm going to turn myself into a walking billboard.
Okay.
On the rather cheap side, I'm going to Sharpie onto a white T-shirt and just billboard myself around a few laps on a Sunday.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. Exactly. You've got to be inventive. We've seen all sorts over the years with with merch. People giving out CDs, people giving out lanyards, giving out even like USB pen drives and stuff like that. It's just anything to just make sure that it's just New Blood stage, whatever time you're on, Sunday, I make sure that they know what they're coming to see, because, as I say, people are at a festival, if you give them a piece of paper, it's going straight on the floor anyway, so. Cool. So, we'll have a listen to some of your music then. So, I believe you got a new song for us then.
Yes, so we've we've been sitting on this track for a while, and we thought, what better way to sort of push it out there and debut it than to, to announce that we're actually playing Bloodstock. So yeah, Mouth Breather is the track.
Okay, cool. Well, well done, guys, and congratulations on getting to Bloodstock. And we will see you there in August.
Thanks very much. See you there.
Okay, that was the guys from Bastard, and this is their song Mouth Breather. Okay, this is Squatter on Bloodstock Radio, and we are at a very sweaty Leicester. The grand final of the Metal to the Masses has just finished, and we are with the winners 28 double. How you doing, guys?
Awesome.
Buzzing is probably about right, because I say, we just had the announcement probably about 10 minutes ago, and you're all still letting it all sink in. So
Cloud 9 pretty much covers that at the minute, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, to be honest with you, you absolutely should be delighted with yourselves, and I'm, if you're surprised at that, then that surprises me, because within the first 30 seconds or so, I was like, oh my god, that was a hell of a performance.
Cheers, man.
Seriously, all five of you were absolutely on fire there, and you could tell just how much you wanted it, and it was just like, that was great, and it just kept going for the whole half hour. So it was absolutely fantastic performance. So were you happy with it? Did you think you were in with a chance when you came off?
Mate, I don't know. I mean, yes, we were happy with it. Like we we absolutely smashed. Do you know what? I can't even speak. That's it. I'm sorry, I don't even.
You're not the ones who have the microphone in front of you, then, clearly.
In it, yeah. Go on to you, Ron.
I think we were happy with it, but like every band today has just absolutely killed it. So it was anyone's guess. Like really couldn't decide, to be fair. But no, we're honoured, to be fair. Big time.
So I believe you guys have all been to Bloodstock before and that. So how's it feeling knowing that you're actually going to go and play it now?
Well, this is it. We've sat in the campsite for years, like, oh, it'd be awesome to play here one day, sort of thing. And
literally,
the fact that it's going to happen, like, it's beyond anything. So no, we're stoked. Very much.
It really does mean the world to us.
Yeah,
cool.
It really does.
Well, that's what it's all about. That's what Metal to the Masses is all about. You know, it's about giving you guys a chance to play a festival like Bloodstock. So you're going to be on the same bill as the likes of Sabaton and Scorpions and Parkway Drive and all these sort of bands. You know, so you can. It's quite a good thing to have on your CV. I have to tell you.
Yeah. Hopefully, we use it as a platform and see where we can take it.
Yeah. So the main idea of this is to basically to give our listeners a sort of taster of what you guys are like, so that they can come and check you out at the New Blood. So tell us a little bit about how long you guys have been going for, what type of music that you play, and then we'll hear a song at the end of it. But yeah, just give us a bit of an overview.
Well, we formed 4 or 5 years ago, I think now. 2014-ish sort of deal, and it was literally an idea me and Josh here had sat in his kitchen. Shall we form a band? So to think that this is kind of where it is now is mental, to be fair. It's sort of like the hard rock groove style of things. Anyone into like Down, Alter Bridge, anything like that, that's what you need to aim for, I think. Yeah.
Cool. And what about the Metal to the Masses process? Have you guys taken part in it before? Is it your first time, or?
This isn't our first time, no. The first time we did it was it 2016? 2016 in Mansfield, and Witch Tripper.
I was going to say.
Won it that year. And we actually went back to Nottingham the year after and didn't get through the heat.
Right.
So to come here and actually get through to the grand final was a massive honour.
Yeah, well, everyone has different journeys there. I mean, again, you mentioned Nottingham. Raised by Owls, I think it was their first gig.
Yeah.
Was the Metal to the Masses. They got knocked out in the first round, got back in on a wild card, and then won the bloody thing. So it's just everyone has a different journey.
It's what Metal to the Masses is all about, though, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. It's about taking your chance on the night, and I have to say that the other bands there did not lose that final. You guys won it. You absolutely stormed that. You really did.
Cheers, man.
Simon Yarwood puts on a great show here, doesn't he? I know, he does an awful lot for the Leicester metal scene, and it's a thankless task. I've been mates with Simon for a long time now, and I know that it's a struggle. It's a struggle even for someone that's got contacts like him, that's got bands like him. It is hard work. It is hard work to get people out to these gigs. So to see a really good crowd in here tonight and to see it well supported throughout the thing is really needs to be supported, doesn't he?
Indeed, yeah.
Yeah, we can't thank him enough. Really, he's put on an amazing competition. It's been over 3 great venues. We've got to play them all. Like, we've never really played Leicester before either, so
no,
it's been an honour to get.
Yeah, because of course you guys are from Derby, the home of Bloodstock. So
and we're all pretty much Bloodstock veterans. Like myself, I've been going since 2004. In the assembly rooms, and I know the rest of the guys have been going since a very long time.
2007. Just reading off dates for you.
Yeah. Absolute honour to be there at Catton Park. We can't wait.
Yeah. Well, I must say, for anyone that's listening, I've been to quite a few Metal to the Masses finals, and I am not just blowing smoke up your arse. That was a cracking performance. That was really. You see some bands that just don't. They sort of freeze a little bit. They don't take it. Like I say, from the first minute, it looked like you guys really wanted to do it. You look really well coordinated. You got the crowd participation. You got everything. The audience are on your side. You probably got the crowd moving more than any band has all day. So it just, for me anyway, it just clicked. So for anyone that's listening, definitely have a look on your Clash Finder and check out these guys 28 double on the New Blood stage this year.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Cool. Okay, so I believe we're going to get some music from you, and I believe it's some brand new music, yeah?
Brand new! Oh, yeah.
So tell us a little bit about this track, and then we'll have a listen to it.
So, we've got a new track coming your way called Grind. Later on this year, we're going to be releasing a video for it as well. It's hard rock, in your face, it's all about having fun.
Cool. Well, we'll listen to that, and we'll see you guys at Bloodstock.
See you. Cheers. See you, man.
Bloodstock, man.
Hello there, this is Akis from Rotting Christ, and you are listening to Bloodstock Radio. Keep the spirit alive, brothers.
Okay, so that was 2 of this weekend's winning Metal to the Masses bands, Bastard, who won over at the East Anglia Heats, and 28 Double, who won in Leicester. We haven't managed to get hold of the Milton Keynes winners take refuge yet, and the Oxford final on Friday night had to be abandoned halfway through due to electricity problems in the area, not specific to the venue, I might add, so we will get the result of that at a later date. This weekend we've got grand finals in Stoke and Hitchin tomorrow night, that's Friday the 31st. Then on Saturday it's Burnley and Wolverhampton, where I'm hoping to be, so get yourself to those if you can. All the details are on our Metal to the Masses official Facebook page. Okay, we're going to finish off the show tonight with an interview I did recently with our friends in Chrysler, who are playing on the main stage at Bloodstock this year on the Saturday. I saw them play in Leicester on Sunday, and I had this chat with them the weekend before that in Manchester, and trust me, they are on fire at the moment. You do not want to miss them at Bloodstock. And don't forget that Bloodstock 2019 day tickets went on sale today in limited numbers, so if you are unfortunately unable to join us for the full weekend of fun and frolics at Catton Park in August, then do make sure you get your day tickets sharpish, as we don't want you to miss out. Okay, this is Bloodstock 2019 main stage band Chrysler, and we'll see you next time on Bloodstock Radio.
Band chat.
Okay, next up on Bloodstock Radio, we're having a chat to the guys from Chrysler. How are we doing, guys?
Yeah, good mate, good. Yeah.
Well, cool. So you guys are going to be playing on the Ronnie James Dio stage at Bloodstock on the Saturday this year. So are we excited?
Yeah, a little bit. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. Should be good. It's a bit early, but idiot. I get it super early. No, we are very, very, very.
Well, we can swap you if you want. Do you want to play maybe, like just behind Parkway Drive, maybe stick you up there?
Not keen on pyros. Yeah. No, we'll say where we are. It's cool.
All right. Okay. Fine. Oh, that's all right then. I'll let them know.
That's all right.
Obviously, I have so much sway in that area. So but I mean, that is actually a thing, because obviously, you're never really sure as to whether people are going to be coming out that early on the Saturday. But if you were there for Evil Scarecrow a few years ago, I think they had about 10,000 out there at that time.
There was for down, definitely, yeah.
So it does happen. So and obviously we'll be plugging you guys as much as possible to try to get people out there. And anyone that's seen you live will know that you put on a good show. And so it should be getting people out of bed anyway. So.
We want to give people more of a bang over than they already have. Absolutely.
Yeah. Cool.
Send people super soakers around the campsites, squirting piss into people's tents. So.
That'll work too. So So you guys played on the Sophie stage in 2016, as I seem to remember. So what are your memories of that then?
Fantastic.
Yes. Yes.
I remember we had a different drummer.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
To be fair, it was absolutely amazing. The Sophie stage is amazing, and it was pretty damn busy in there as well.
It was I will always take every opportunity to say how awesome the tech crew and everybody out on that stage.
That's genuine, yeah.
They were mega. They were really professional. So,
to be fair, any stage at Bloodstock's a good stage.
Yep.
I've seen bands on all stages absolutely destroy a place. So if you get asked to do the Jaeger or the Ronnie James Dio or any of the other stages, it's a massive privilege.
Yeah, good.
And we are stoked.
No, we had a ball, didn't we?
Yeah, it was mega.
Yeah, I remember talking to you guys afterwards very, very briefly when I was doing my first Bloodstock TVs. I didn't really know you guys then. I'd just heard that you were good. So I thought, I'll interview them then, along with 77 other bands that we interviewed that weekend, which was ridiculous.
I know you did a load with that.
I did, stupidly.
I remember that.
Well, it's Topher, and then I'm just going to any band that comes along, will you interview us? I'm like, yeah. And he's going, shit, I've got to edit all these. And I wasn't thinking that. I'm just thinking, 5-minute chat, that's me done. And then he's got to edit them all, so we cut it down a fair bit, but obviously we'll try and have a chat with you guys Bloodstock TV this year as well, so cool. So let's talk about the new album then, because we had the worldwide premiere of Zero Sum Game a few weeks ago, so thank you very much for that. It was on podcast 71 for anyone that missed it, so yes, thanks for letting us have that.
Absolutely. Very well.
Absolutely very well.
That's the least we could do, considering we've been given the Ronnie James Dio stage to play, so we thought we'd share it with Bloodstock first.
Cool. And Carl, you were saying earlier on that's like not even anywhere near your favourite on the album, so there's much more to come.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, there's loads more. It's I don't know really why we chose that one. Really, we just sort of. I don't know, it just sort of happened, didn't it?
It wasn't the one that was sort of sprung to mind in the writing, recording process. There was one which was working title was obvious single, and that clearly wasn't it. However, that is still to come out. So there's another one which
there's a lot of depth. There's more. There's literally nothing that isn't.
I see each track's got its own character as well. It's not like there's another track that sounds like another one on the album. We've worked really hard to evolve on from the last album, and we're stoked and proud to be sort of chucking it out there, because
it actually caused us more disagreements probably than the last two, didn't it? Because it's just impossible to choose which track to go with. It was something different. Everyone likes it, they do.
Well, I was a bit gutted to hear that the Thrasher got dropped, because I heard that when I interviewed you a couple of years ago, and it was like, I've heard a sneak preview of that, and then turns out you bloody dropped it anyway.
That was the only I reckon there's a good chance that'll appear at some point somewhere along the line as something else.
It might disembark a few bits from it. There's some good stuff in it. It's just that the vibe in general wasn't quite as dark as the rest of the album. The rest of the album's got a really kind of negative, aggressive melancholy with it. It's sad and very angry at the same. Imagine a really big kid who's had all his sweets stolen.
That's you then, Neil.
Our music's pretty much a reflection of what's going on worldwide anyway, and things have been pretty topsy-turvy over the last couple of years, and that's fed into what's been written around, and so we've taken a good look at the world around us and spewed it out back at everybody.
That's why the artwork's so much more bleak this time, because it's been colourful and detailed before, and this time it's that's not what it's about. It's bleak, isn't it?
There's stuff on there that I think everybody can relate to. I mean, there's going to be certain songs on there that deal with the mental state of people and suicide and all the issues that seem to be getting talked about on social media quite a lot are ones that I don't think anybody ever really realised until social media just how prevalent the negative side of things are in people's heads, and we've reflected that in what we're doing. I think it's
mental health has had a massive thing. We've got a new mental health charity that we're supporting in Bloodstock this year. Actually, we've replaced our usual charity, so we've got a mental health charity that we're working with this year as well. So it is one of those things that people do tend to sort of have a right about. But worldwide negative. It sounds like it's going to be that type of thing anyway, doesn't it?
It's not a trip through the park.
No.
Unless it's like a bombed out, destroyed, ripped apart park that's dead.
Really, really bad park.
So that one in Northampton then, by the racecourse. Wellingborough. That'll be it. Yeah. So that's going to be coming out on August 16th via Plastic Head. So that's just after Bloodstock. So you've got a few gigs coming up between now and then as well. I think I'm seeing you at Leicester, the Metal to the Masses final weekend that Simon's putting on next weekend as well, and that's at Firebug, which is always a good little venue, isn't it?
We like playing in Leicester. It's close to where we live, so we would consider that to be it's a hometown gig.
I heard Simon Yard was installing a stair lift at the venue. Is that true?
Who knows?
Is that just for him? Sorry, Simon.
That's very harsh indeed. Apparently, I've just got a text when you're actually cancelled. As you're not playing there anymore. It's a stair lift my arse, it says. Cool. So we look forward to seeing you at Leicester and get the guys to come down there and check you out there. If they want to see what they're going to see at Bloodstock, then we can see that. I absolutely can't wait to see you guys on that main stage. It's going to be absolutely mental. It's always great when you've got, for me, so I know getting to know bands over the years, and Cambion played on there a few years ago on the main stage, and I think Bloodstock's unique in that sort of thing of pushing bands up the stages. A lot of the festivals, they'll put them on one stage and then that's their lot really, and they won't really put them back anywhere else. But Bloodstock have got a real reputation for doing that, haven't they?
It's the grassroots thing, isn't it? You've got to support it from the grassroots up.
I've not seen a single band do it yet, but I believe there's a path right from the very smallest stage right up to headlining. I mean, I've seen bands go from Jaeger to Metal to the Masses to Sophie. I've seen other bands go from Sophie to the Dio stage, and I've seen bands like Gojira and Amon Amarth move up that. So it's possible to start at the very bottom and work your way all the way up to the top.
Yeah, absolutely is.
I don't think there's another festival that is so involved in it. I think Bloodstock's leading the way.
Almost, isn't it? They give you the chance right at the bottom to climb your way up, and if you can keep your oar in the water long enough and paddle hard enough, they do notice. And I think that's a really encouraging thing for a festival to invest so much time, and it's a certain amount of risk as well. You know what I mean? To bring bands up and try them, teach them the way and give them the opportunity, so to speak.
It's encouraging for the bands as well. You've got some out there who's actually listening and giving a shit. It's not just about putting the same bands on rotation every 3 years. It's about finding the bands that are going to take over when those guys finally go.
They realise, there seems to be the only festival that really realise that you have your core festival bands that are headliners, but everybody knows they're not going to be around forever. But Bloodstock are the ones that know that and do something about it to try and find the next one.
Yeah, they're definitely.
Whereas everybody else is sort of seems quite happy to sort of dip the toe in the water every now and then, but Bloodstock are the ones that sort of give the push to everybody up the rungs.
Yeah, Gojira headline was
case in point, Gojira,
and they absolutely slayed it.
Yeah. Well, every time they've played there, they've been amazing, and that's the reason why they've ended up going further and further at the bill. They've been amazing. So
well, I think when they played in 2016, when you guys played, I think nearly every band that I interviewed, who you're looking forward to seeing, it was Gojira. And I think after they'd played, I think a lot of people were like, the next time they play here, they're going to be headlining, and that's the way it turned out.
I think they're the most important metal band on the planet at the moment. I know there's bigger bands, but they're pushing things forward in a new direction, and
they're growing, aren't they? Bigger bands are just that big already.
They're totally credible as well. Do you know what I mean? And it's a new way of looking at things, the way that they play their instruments. Gojira are an amazing band, and after them it's us.
I wonder when it was going to croak on it.
I'm waiting for it. Well, the thing is, as you say, you get pushed up you're on the main stage now, so you can only go up the billing from there. So you never know. 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. We
have plans to go further and farther, and this is the next step. Chris Fuller will headline it one day.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Well, why not?
That's our plan.
Well, why not? And like you say, they'll if you do it, they'll do it. They'll push you and they'll back you and they'll keep tabs on you. And if you keep doing what you're doing, don't see why not.
This is it.
You heard it here. You heard it here first, folks. Cool.
Let's pencil it in now, shall we?
Okay, so Vicky and Simon, if you're listening, Crystal, if you could just let them know which year, then that'd be great. Thanks.
Next year, the one after.
No pencil. We'll call it a heavy pen.
We'll marker it in there.
Okay, well, cool. Thanks for talking to us, guys. And we'll play out with the new tracks. If one of you want to introduce that for us, Neil can do that.
This is our brand new single. This is called Zero Sum Game by Crystal.
Very professionally done.
Pushing in everyone's face like a venom. Suffer from
fans, for the fans. Bloodstock Radio.